Good morning, students. So today we are doing chapter 5. Apu goes to school. Prasanna Guruji ran a grocery shop from his home and he ran a school next to the shop. Not much was offered by the way of facilities in this school excepting the cane. So here a teacher named Prasanna Guruji, he runs a school close to his own grocery shop. And there were no much facilities means the necessary requirements in the school excepting the cane here is referred to a stick used to punish students. However, the guardians of his pupils had no less faith than did Guruji on the magical powers of the cane as an instrument of learning. They had assured Guruji that he could wield a free hand with the cane as long as he didn't actually blind or lame his students. Guruji appeared to follow their request to the letter, and it was a miracle that his students remained with their limbs intact. So the guardians of the pupils, here pupils means the students and guardians means the people who take care of the students. Maybe the students are living with their uncle or aunt or their relatives, so we call them as guardians. So the guardians have written a letter to Guruji that he can be the students, or he can punish the students with a stick, or even he can hit them, but not too hard that they go blind or lame. Lame means disability, can't move or walk. So Guruji followed their instructions, and even the students were very afraid of Guruji that he might punish him with the stick he had. Apu, get up quick, said his mother on a cold December morning. Apu laid curled up in his quilt, waiting for the day to get really sunny before he actually got out of bed. Wake up, Apu. Don't you remember you are to start school today? Sarbojaya sat down beside her son to wake him up. You will have lots of books and a slate too. Now get up and wash your face. Get ready. Your father will be along in a moment to drop you off at the school. So his mother was waking him up, saying that he has to start school from today. When he heard the word school, then he immediately got up. At the sound of the word school, Apu looked at his mother in dismay and disbelief. He believed that only naughty boys who didn't listen to their mother or who fought with their siblings were the ones sent to school, but he had never behaved like that. Why then was he being sent to school? He didn't move. So Apu was thinking that only people or only boys who don't listen to their parents or they fight with their siblings. Siblings means brother or sister. So who do mischief at home only will be sent to school, and he never behaved like that. So why should he go to school? That's what he was questioning himself. Then Sarbojaya was back soon. Get up, Apu, wash your face. I'm going to give you a big bundle of puffed rice to take with you to school, and you can munch on them on the way. Now get up, my darling. Apu merely let out an exclamation of disbelief. Then he stuck out his tongue and shut his eyes, but showed no signs of stirring. So her mother, she came and she woke him up, and also she said that she will pack him a puffed rice. Here puffed rice means in Hindi you call it as parmal or mamra. So people usually make this snack using this called bel puri. So she said that she'll pack him and she'll pack this for him, and he can eat this while going to school. Then Apu couldn't believe it. He was thinking it is not true, and he simply again closed his eyes and was not moving from that place. Stirring means there's no movement. But finally, when his father appeared, there was not much he could do. He had to prepare himself for school. He looked mutely at his mother with a hurt expression, his eyes wet with tears. While his mother was tying up the bundle of puffed rice for him, he declared, I shall never come back home again, just see if I do. So, but when Apu didn't wake up, but when his father came, he has nothing else, no option. He woke up and he looked mutely. Mutely means very silent, and he was very hurt and started crying, and he told his mother that he will never come back home again. Hush, what a thing to say. Never come back home. It isn't good to say such ill-omened words. She chucked him under the chin and gave him a kiss. May you become wise and learned. You must study hard and you are sure to get a wonderful job and earn lots of money. Don't be afraid. To her husband, she said, please tell the Guruji not to scold him, to let him be. So, mother scolded him not to speak such bad words, and she explained him that if he goes to school and learn well, he will get a good job and he can earn lot of money. And also she told her husband to tell Guruji not to scold or punish him. When they came to school, Harihar said to his son, I shall come back later to get you. Apu, once school is over. Meanwhile, you must sit and write. Listen to Guruji and don't be naughty. When Apu looked back a little later, he could see his father's figure gradually disappearing behind the bend in the path. He felt lost, as though he was drowning in a vast ocean. For what seemed ages, he sat with his face turned to the ground. Later, when he glanced up timidly, he saw that Guruji was weighing out rock salt for one of his village customers. So finally, his father's name is Harihar. He dropped him at school and he left. So Apu was very sad and he was just looking down to the ground, and he felt that he was left in the vast ocean. Vast means very big, very huge, and he was drowning. And then later he can see that Guruji was at his grocery shop and weighing rock salt for the customers. The bigger boys were seated on their own mats and were reciting something in discordant notes. Discordant means which is not correct, or something which is not sounding correctly, swaying wildly to a rhythm as they did so. Another boy who looked younger than him sat with his back to the wall, chewing in a somewhat absent-minded way on the leaf strip on which they were supposed to write. And a really big boy with a mole on his face was gazing intently at something beneath the shop platform. So he was explaining what the other students of the class were doing. A couple of boys who were seated right in front of him had drawn lines on their slate and were busy doing something. Apu couldn't see what. I have put down a cross, whispered one to the other. Here's my knot, said the other. So Apu realized the two boys who were sitting in front of him, they were playing a game. One boy said, I have put a cross. Remember, you play in the class also the 0 and X game. So one said that I have already put a cross. Now the other boy said, now it's my knot. Knot means it's a zero symbol. They went on like that, whispering and putting marks on the slate, all the while throwing quick glances at the teacher who was busy selling goods to the customers. So the two boys who were playing, at the same time they were looking at their master who was at the grocery shop. Apu began to spell out words in big letters on his slate. Suddenly, he wasn't sure exactly when he heard Guruji call out, Here you, phony. What's that you are writing on the slate? The two boys immediately covered up the slate, but it wasn't easy escaping the eagle-like eyes of their teacher. So what happened? Finally, Apu was writing something on his slate and he didn't notice that Guruji already was sitting in front of them, and he shouted at the two boys and asked them what they were doing. Satay, fetch me phony slate, Guru Moshai barked. Before he had quite finished, the big boy with the mole had snatched the slate away and presented it to their teacher, who sat on the raised platform of the shop. I see. So this is what you have been up to, playing games. Fetch 'em both, Satay. Bring 'em up by their ears. So finally the two boys who were playing were caught, and the boy with a mole, he snatched both their slates and took it to Guruji, and finally Guruji found that they were playing a game on the slate. The sudden snatching away of the slate by the big boy and the panic-stricken expression of the two boys who were now following him reluctantly to Guruji's seat made Apu want to laugh, and a little later he did burst out laughing. So looking at the boys' expression who were caught, Apu felt like laughing, and finally he started laughing. For a bit he succeeded in holding back his laughter, but soon enough he began to giggle. Giggle means he started smiling. "Who is laughing?" called out Guruji. "Boy, why are you laughing? Do you think you are in a theatre or what?" Apu had no idea of what a theatre might be, but he was scared to death. So when he started laughing, Guruji asked him why is he laughing, and thinking that do you think is it a theatre you are sitting at? Theatre means it's a cinema hall. So he had no idea what a theatre is. "Sate," ordered Guru Moshai, "pick me a brick from the pile near the tamarind tree, and mind you, get a big one." So Guruji asked Satai, the boy with the mole, asked him to get a brick which is near the tamarind. Tamarind means tamarind tree is the imli tree, imli ka ped. "And mind, get a big one," said. "Keep in mind that you have to bring the big one." Apu sniffed in fear. His throat had dried up completely. But when the brick was got, he found that it hadn't come for him. It was meant for those two boys. Guruji had let him off this time, probably because he was little, or perhaps because it was his first day at school. So when Guruji ordered the boy to get a brick, then Apu was very frightened. He thought that the brick was brought for him, but finally he realized that it was not for him. Maybe Guruji did not punish him because he was very little, means he was small, and also it was his first day at school. Okay, so we have done the reading, students. Now write the glossary words in your copy, and I will send you the question answers later. We will skip the think and answer. We are not writing this. Okay, thank you.